Hello, gorgeous. Hello, beautiful. Cutie pie, you sweetie pies. So, yeah, the box is like full again. Went to a comic show and got some other used stuff, but I got so much new stuff here that I thought what I'd do in this video. Seeing as it's Valentine's Day, I actually got like a lot of like kind of holiday themed stuff for that, and may as well talk about it. Actually, going to talk about a lot of these new releases. Actually, a lot of them were pretty good, and I talking about new releases doesn't do so well a lot for this channel, but these are kind of worth talking about. We're gonna power through some of them, stop and smell the roses for Valentine's Day, with others that are like more notable to talk about. Let's start. Let's go. Yeah, I could pirate them and stuff, but I just want to pay the tithe to the church still. The industry of comics, right? It's almost like renting movies back in the day, but then you can like trade them back. Kind of like maybe about like $5 to rent one, and then you can like get a little bit of bucks back later. That was a funny model. There was some actual story time. Everybody starts videos with stories. Here's a raunchy one. There's like an adult movie story here before that you could like rent videos, but then you like return them back for like half the price. What a business model that was. I wouldn't know. Anyway, here's Barbarian Behind Bars #1. I thought I'd give this a chance because it's a funny premise of what if these kind of like out of time, are they Vikings or barbarians out of time that get in like an epic fight, but then the hero gets arrested and has to be in like federal prison for like beheading the villain. That's the way that it starts off. And I was like, that sounds good, man. A barbarian behind bars. I was kind of thinking maybe it would be like Brawl in Cell Block 99, or if I was lucky, Story of Ricky or something. But no, it's mostly just talking. What the hell? And then they kind of like hint at like there's almost a fight at the end of the issue. What the what? I it's one of those things where like your gut is like take a chance on it maybe, but maybe not. It's Andrea Muti on the art though. Honestly though, I did order issue 1 and 2, so I'll get back to you on number 2. But disappointed that there isn't more. Like I should just close my eyes and remember scenes from Brawl and Cell Block 99 or Story of Ricky instead. That's what I would have wanted, but not to be like one of those people. I'd say save your money or go for the bargain bin if you're interested in this later. There was some buzz about this one, Black Cat #7 with the Adam Hughes cover, because it's kind of like suggestive, I guess, if you want to get symbolic with it. The look that they're giving each other, and then this like kind of slimy phallic object there. It was maybe going to be a controversial cover, and I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of smart at getting covers lately. Here's the Ivan Talavera variant, because I'm like, yeah, I'm dipping in to mainstream stuff when I think I can like recoup my like testing it out, and I'm kind of smart with it now, it seems, but I don't want to tempt fate by jinxing it there. But yeah, that you can like kind of like get your costs back if you don't like it. Popular cover. We'll see. I read issue 1 of Black Cat. It was okay. These I'm liking these Daredevil and Punisher. Here's number 2. Palmiotti seems to always bring it, I guess. And these have some good beats too. Some nice DeLuca effect there. Even though it's an overarching storyline, it has like a lot of action, good characterization too. Matt's cool in it. The Punisher is almost like a guest. It's almost like early Punisher issues where he's like a guest in it. Maybe it takes place during the Ennis run here with the Nushi family. And it's kind of a treat getting, even though Daredevil's the star and Punisher is the anti-hero kind of guest, it works good, the dynamic between the two. I'm on board. I'll probably get all of these. Yeah, and lots of fights. The fights are good. They're brutal. Although I would think Daredevil would just kind of mop the floor with Punisher. It seems like Punisher is kind of getting the edge on him in these fights. Let's show just a little bit of number 3 here. Kind of catching up on these. Yeah, there's March 2026, the date on this. So Oh yeah, they got some nice side boob there. That's a nice side boob. So, not afraid to serve our demographic. Maybe here, which is what you want when you got some Punisher. You don't want it. You don't want him neutered and stuff. So it's pretty good so far. Here's one that was just a treat, like a delight. I didn't want to fall victim to nostalgia berries, but I was like, man, that DuckTales Valentine's Day special looks kind of interesting. That cover is really nice too. Not just for the cover. Who did this though? Nicoletta Baldari. Really nice. But this was fun to read too, man. Uncle Scrooge with a Valentine's special. What happens here is Magica Dispel comes up with a scheme, thinking that it's Thursday the 13th. I guess it would be Friday the 13th, right? To get Scrooge's lucky dime. Here's a funny gag with the Beagle Boys, too. Nice cartooning throughout this, too. And it's like a nice episode or a nice single one-and-done adventure. Pretty thick. Like, you feel like it's a good, satisfying story. So she's going to give Scrooge, what's that shit called? Amnesia. So he doesn't know who he is. But she accidentally gets it herself. And they are interacting, and they're kind of like, hey, we know so much about each other, and I feel like I like recognize you. We know so much about each other. Maybe are we like lovers or something? And then we must be a power couple. I'm the best. People are saying I'm the best sorceress in the world, and you're the richest guy in the world. So maybe Scrooge is like a MGTOW capitalist stand-in. He's like very skeptical about Valentine's Day, and Magica Dispel would maybe be like inverted postmodern feminism. Hey, I'm just bullshitting. Would you guys like it if I started making videos like that? Could I just bullshit? This is actually really nice though. This is a very enjoyable, which is nice. I was like I was ready. I was trying to be what's that shit called? Objective. And I was ready to be disappointed or just mad, but actually this was really nice. It was really pleasant and even like kind of like moved me. It was really, really sweet. So yeah, this is a recommend. I was like, man, if I get it, I could still like sell it if I don't quite like it. But I think I want to keep this one actually. And I want. Hey, there's Launchpad too. Yeah, it's just like a good DuckTales fucking adventure story. I'll be looking for this one too, Muppet Snore. What else is coming out? Are they showing some other shit coming out? I think there's some... anyhow. Okay. Yeah, I recommend actually on that. Event Horizon Dark Descent, the conclusion. And this kind of like, it's like this is quite good. One of the better horrors that I've read in a while. But is it kind of... It's kind of on the verge of, I don't love it, but I like it quite thoroughly enough that I'll keep it. You know what I mean? It's kind of on the verge of like, I'll be rereading it like in a year or two, probably come back to it, see if I like it enough to keep it. But as of now, like I can't get rid of it. And those first prints and stuff are like kind of skyrocketed in price or value. I mean, yeah, the art and the writing and all this is pretty solid. I don't know if I'd wholeheartedly, like I said, I don't love it, but like it's probably worth a read to anybody interested. A lot like the original movie, where there's just kind of like good bits. Like it might not be perfect, but there's a lot of like decent stuff in it. Yeah. Okay. He had this G.I. Joe 13 with like a die cut cover. I said, yeah, it's only less than the cover price, so sure. The latest issue of G.I. Joe, the most lighthearted probably in the series yet, with Roadblock, where he's kind of retired from combat and just you know how a Roadblock is like a chef? That's like his kind of gig in the army, and he just wants to start kind of like the best food truck, like with like good value and like quality, fast, like home cooking and stuff, or fast food, the best that he can do. And all these like corporations are trying to buy him out and shit. And what are these twins from Cobra? They want to buy him out, and he wants to retire, live a peaceful life, but of course they want to destroy his food truck. So the battle happens. You can tell by the cover, is that kind of a swipe, that it's gonna be the most lighthearted issue, which is like, yeah. I like it all like heavy and dark and gritty and stuff, right? But yeah, not bad. It's just that it's the most lighthearted issue so far. That it's like, yeah. But here's a Derek Chew cover of that, because I figured like I'd probably, if I really like it, I'd keep both. But if I'll probably just sell one cover. Okay, Hank Howard, The Two Hollywoods. Hank Howard, Pizza Detective #2. Talked about the previous issue previously, and not a big fan of comedy, but this one actually had me laughing. He's a lot like, I hear his voice. You remember Bookman, the library detective from Seinfeld? It's almost like I could hear that voice, where it's comedic, but it's funny how it's like hard-boiled. Oh yeah, this flamethrower fight. Instead of like a fruit stand on the side of the road, it's a comic stand getting messed up. And some funny bits here. My inventory is set on fire. He's pulling out an issue of Straight Bullets. Still time to find an honest living, old timer. Better to burn these rags before reading. Yeah, he's just always got one-liners, and it's weird. I was kind of reading this and realizing if it was the 90s, or it's funny too. The guy explodes in the fight. It's not shy with the gore either. It explodes into different body parts, and he finds his fucking ass with his entrails leaking out, and goes through his wallet for a clue, and the big clue is this like Walkabout Beef House reward card. Just funny little gags like that. It's pretty lighthearted in that, but like the tone has like the ultra violence as well. So I was kind of realizing, maybe in this day and age it might seem like, oh yeah, okay, I get it. But if it was a more indie style in like the 90s or early 2000s, it would be like, oh man, this is really like a funny indie thing. But the professionalism of Lapham's artwork kind of elevates it past like the more amateurish indie. So it's a little bit weird in that way. Like it might be a little bit of curveball for some people. This is funny, this drop ceiling, you know, we've all seen people sneaking through drop ceilings, but he actually falls through, which is finally, like no drop ceiling would be able to support body weight. So it's funny to finally see that. And these Australian gangsters are pretty funny too. You got some online friends that are Australian, so it's kind of reminding me of them. And I like how the henchman is named like Cody and Brody and stuff. That's funny. Yeah, I liked it. And the violence is really ultra violent, and the lines, the final line too, I want to read it to you, but I don't want to spoil it. But it's just good, you know, that kind of like there's 8 million stories in the Naked City, like that kind of thing. But it's this pizza detective, like the way he talks and makes it seem like the pizza industry is so gritty and dark and stuff. I liked it. I'm gonna keep this one too. So some keepers. The comic shop owner handed me this one. I didn't bother reading this. I just have a feeling that it's trash. But Elvira can be pretty decent. But I'm kind of like going for sketch covers, because I figured me and my friends could either draw cool or like really vile, horrible things on them, just for fun, just for kicks. But I mean Harley Quinn's pretty trendy. Oh shit! You know what? This is Amanda Connor though, isn't it? Amanda Connor and Jimmy Palmiotti. This might actually be decent. Because Connor and Palmiotti, and what's the other lady? Grunbeck? They're kind of like, I've dipped my toes into about every Red Sonja run, and they're like the best ones. The best people that work on those, for instance. And Palmiotti is pretty decent, so this might be okay, but I'm not expecting much. I haven't read it yet. Sorry. Any kind of like, a lot of these Dynamite things I like, yeah, they're not really for me, but maybe just draw some vile, horrible things for covers, just for kicks. This was cool as shit. Night City. Matt Kindt and David Lapham. Man, David Lapham works hard. How many titles does he got out there? Okay, it says colors by Matt Kindt. kind of watercolory. This was sick as hell. It could have just been a one and done, but I really want to read the next one too. Some different kind of takes on superheroes, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like, couldn't put it down. I want to show you like a good bit. It's kind of like, you know, that kind of post, what do they call it, the where you're kind of looking at superheroes and like bringing like a more realistic kind of deconstructionist take on it. For one thing, he has to go to like the middle of Antarctica, I think is it, and go like miles below the earth to try and just to try and drown out the sounds of being able to hear everything on Earth. And even when he's on this date, he's like, fuck, a bridge collapsed and like on the other side of the world, and I wasn't there to do it because I was on this, or to save it because I was on this date. Now the media is gonna like fucking ream me out and shit. And yeah, even under Antarctica, he like can't, he eventually starts to hear everything, and it just has to become like a buzz of white noise, all the tragedy and like screaming in the world and shit. Pretty wild. And then there's this other reality, you don't know which reality is real, if he's just a working schlub stuff. Yeah, interesting. It's well done. I can't wait to get to the next issue of this. Okay. Here's one that I'm getting from Inertia, Planet She-Hulk number 4. And I was kind of interested in checking this out because she's going to be, Stephanie Phillips, the writer on this, is going to be the writer on, I almost said Dracula, on Daredevil. But the sad thing is that the guy who did the first 2 issues of art, what's his name? Is it Aaron? I want to say Magruder, but that's the Boondocks guy. It's like Aaron Cooter or something. He was doing the art, but then he stopped. 3 and 4 is something different, so I'm missing that because I got it. Primarily, the art was stronger than the writing is like fine, but the well, like better than fine. It's like slightly better than serviceable, right? Maybe 3.5 out of 5 or something. But I like want to see what's happening. But the art is like, I mean, this would, if he did it, this would look nicer probably. She-Hulk would look hotter probably, like, for one thing, right? That's what I mean, you want that. The art becomes serviceable. Emilio Lasso, like it's good art, but it doesn't have the wow factor that the other guy had. Sorry to shit on this dude, but I mean that's what you want. This is kind of nice with this coloring. I like this lighting coming through the leaves on the trees on them here. Yeah, and like this, she would look better if the other guy was doing it and stuff like that. This would look better. This would look better. This looks fine, but it doesn't have that certain wow factor. Sorry to say. But God help me, I want to know what happens in the story. It's not even great enough or anything, but it's like just good enough that I just, you know, I want to go down with the ship and find out another decapitation. So. That's not bad. Too bad that other motherfucker isn't on here on the art, though. Is that what people say about him? That he, like, always only does, like, the first 2 issues of something? That's a bummer, dude. Okay, but moving on. Okay, I've been hearing that this series actually might be one of the most underrated and best out from DC right now. And I just thought this cover looked wicked by Kyo-Young Yum. The look on her face of like kind of reverie and this kind of like sliminess, and the plants too. It reminds you know when Swamp Thing is just awesome plant viscera, and the lighting and the way this kind of background or foreground looks, like there's just dander and it's like a thick atmosphere with pollen and stuff floating in the air, almost like underwater. I like it. I like this cover. I mean, the look on her face too. That's great. So, yeah. A cover by I don't know what I'm doing. Like I said, some people like stuff for the covers, buying stuff off me, so I'll try to curate that section, and then if the interiors are good, then that's great. I would be thankful for that. So a way to dip my toe in or justify it to myself anyways, this compulsion. Okay, Marvel Knights Punisher. Lord Tatman was covering these. And I thought I'd check this out because this is Palmiotti and Panosian. And I like it, man. Wait, is this number... Let me show number 1 first. Here's number 1. I think this is a second print, but kind of a cool cover anyway. This costume sucks, so just put him in like regular clothes or something instead. There's no point. They're just trying to get away maybe from the stigma of the of the classic skull. Whatever. But his look on his face, it must be like Jorge Zafino influence or something on Panosian a little bit once in a while, or maybe John Buscema. He'd always have that kind of brow, then the eyes with like the heavy darkness under the eye. But I'm just trying to sound smart. Oh yeah, here's some nice fan service too. Not afraid to pander to me. I like to see that. This is kind of gritty too. It reads a lot like, yeah, Marvel Knights era, where it's maybe, what is this, a 5 or 6 issue miniseries here? But there's enough like story beats that each issue is pretty good too. There's a lot of fighting and action and characterization. I like how a lot of these scenes are, if there's a talking scene, it's only like 1 or 2 pages, and it serves the plot and the characterization well. You know, you're not gonna have like fucking the whole issue talking and then like maybe just 1 fight page or something. Not to sound like a caveman, but I am though. This costume sucks. It's a little bit distracting. Stupid. It should be like high vis. That's what it should be, man. It should be like high vis. Yeah. No, I'm fucking around. But the fighting's pretty good. It's all pretty good. It reminds me of either that Marvel Knights, obviously, or Chuck Dixon, like Warzone kind of Punisher. Not really like Mike Baron, or maybe more like Garth Ennis too. Look at how gritty and ugly this shit is too. Just ugly cigar chopping close up, along with this dame. Really, really pretty. Talking about comic art, ideally how, you know, one thing that's hot right now is that Absolute Batman, and I've come around to like, I tried it out and I'm like, yeah, I can understand a little bit like the quickness of the illustration. There's something pretty awesome there where you're hitting like a sweet spot of being fast and loose, but also really lively and adept with the strokes of ink and stuff like that. And also the quickness makes the figures more lively too. A lot of fighting in this. It's pretty sick. And like when I got to, yeah, look at this dame here with the brass knuckles firing on cylinders. But it bummed me out, man, because he's like fucking brainwashed at the end. He's gonna be a villain. Like, I didn't want to buy number 2 because that pissed me off. I'm like, they're gonna make him kill innocent people too. That's like the worst thing. Punisher would never want to do that. I mean, you know, to get a little nerdy here, that's what turned me off of the Punisher TV series or whatever, his first appearance in the Daredevil series, where he's like shooting up the hospital, but he's like, no, I'm not. I knew I wouldn't actually hit anybody. I'm like, man, that's like one of the main things Punisher is about, is like not hurting innocent people or protecting innocent people. So it's a real. I got issue 2 though. I fucking manned up because I'm like, I gotta see. He's gonna get comeuppance. Trying to make Punisher kill innocent people, or a tool of the mob, the cartel. There's gonna be some comeuppance. But the other thing, right? This other character that gets introduced in issue 2, who's gonna go undercover and infiltrate the cartel, even though he's only got like 2 pages of intro, I'm so invested. It's awesome that I just really like this character all of a sudden too, that they introduce. It kind of reminds me, you know, Detective von Richthofen in the Garth Ennis Punisher, how you're just like, yeah, I like that character. I want to see them. I hope they don't die. They're going to be a good ally to the Punisher, even if, like, they don't even work, like, hand in hand or anything. So, that's good. Some good new characters. Man, I hope he doesn't die, man. I like that guy. I'll be sticking with this too, man. I don't think it'll let me down, but holy shit, I'm so disappointed to see him, Punisher, turned into, like, a bad guy, man. That's gotta be... There's gotta be big comeuppance, man. That guy's gotta be fucking, like... He's gonna be out dismembered or thrown into some helicopter blades on an electrical fence or something. There's gotta be, like, a really elaborate death coming for that guy. He's gotta get the final death blow. That Hawaiian guy, he's really gotta come in. You know? That kind of thing. Don't let me down. So far, it doesn't. Alright, man. This is Sirens by Teeny Howard, right? And Babs something. This is a Micah cover. I think the reason why I got this is like, Do you ever kind of fantasize about like running a comic shop and being like, yeah, I want to be familiar with different things for different people? Like this kind of like for girls, or maybe people would be like, you know, you like girls enough that's like the sirens. Want to see what they get up to. Want to be a fly on the wall when they're having lunch. And they're having, but luckily it's not like that Sex in the City, Gilmore Girls level of quips and humor and dialogue and stuff. Oh yeah, they're not afraid to show some cleavage too. The vag, lots of cleavage and shit. They look good. So yeah, good for that too. Kind of anime style. Yeah, there's a serial killer. There's like so it's got like a little bit of an adultish content. Not, I mean, in the fact of the violence that is. And all the cartooning is good. Let me see this lady's name again. Probably you guys know. Babs Tar. Yeah, the A cover is getting hot right now too. Hot cover alert. I'll probably check this out too. I had ordered the Derek Chu covers and was subscribed to that, but they didn't have those, so got this one. There's also connecting to a Lute cover. There's definitely an anime influence here. He has that downturned kind of like Capcom concept art mouth there even too, or like Berserk or something common. Yeah, nice art. And the writing was serviceable enough for me. I am like totally fine with it. It didn't piss me off or anything. And they all kind of like have their opportunities to shine. Yeah, speaking of the Gilmore Girls, what if there was an apocalypse and the only thing that survived was Gilmore Girls DVDs, and you had to like build civilization on them? I stole that joke from a cartoonist, or Alex Degen. I'm filibustering, but yeah, just showing off some of this still. It's not bad, man. So depending if you're into this kind of thing, it's not bad. Maybe I'm an idiot. This is the foil one. A lot of foil covers don't do it too great though. Like honestly, the non-foil one is kind of nicer. Oh yeah, here's another thing. Like the fashion's pretty good. Is it like a... Did a lot of us kind of like watch those fashion shows growing up, just trying to wait to see a nipple, and then you kind of like, as a side effect, you actually like appreciate that shit? Reading those like California Girls and Katie Keene and stuff is like, yeah, I can appreciate this. Like, you know, there's homegirls that are into that stuff too. On their behalf, I'll stay informed. All right, this one had a little bit of buzz. Spider-Man and Wolverine, Carrie Andrews, and Guggenheim on the writing. The art's pretty fun. The writing didn't quite do it for me. When I try to look at it, I'm just jumping in here on this issue though, because I just flipped through it. I was like, I heard that this is fun, so I thought I'd dip my toe in. Maybe I'm behind though, because it's what, issue 9 or something? Issue 8, number 8. The cartooning is pretty sweet though. I think I might have hated the writing. It's fine, but I think I could even do without it. But it does have this She-Hulk side. It's like a, what do you call it? You know, there's parallel dimensions everywhere, which ultimately makes nothing matter. But a Psylocke She-Hulk amalgam. So yeah, I'll bite. But the writing not for me, but the cartooning good. So not a keeper. Elbow, if you want this, I'll send it to you, man. Terminator Metal number 4. Are we kind of spoiled for these? You notice, remembering that if Goodfellas didn't exist, then Casino would be seen as like one of the best gangster movies. This is like good. It's very solid, but the other Terminator Metal issues were probably cooler. But this one is good. You know what I mean? Out of the Terminator franchise, it's still strong, as all this shelfy stuff is, but what is this, like 14 issues in now? So number 3 was like probably the weakest out of all of them, but just in how it was like lighthearted. It was still cool, but this is cool and solid still, but some of the other issues I like more. And seeing as these are all These are all standalone, like you could read them all in any order and any number. Yeah, still worth your time, but not maybe below average out of all the run, but it's still very good. It's just that the run has been so great that that I wouldn't like put it above the majority. Still cool though. Doesn't this cover like make your heart skip a beat? This cover is sick. TMNT Journey is number 6. And this is so pleasant. This is so fun to read. I'm sure Crack is gonna like give it better covers than me. Not to put pressure on him, but he has been covering it so good. And it's getting so far out with the story now. It's so unlike real life now that it's like, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm on board. Like the alien, like the aliens interacting with humanity and stuff. It's kind of becoming so much part of the main plot now that it's so unreal, or it's so like I always like the TMNT when it's like kind of grounded and gritty street reality, or else I always like the Eastman issues more, but this layered stuff is a lot like that issues 4 to 7 or the kind of Fugisoid type stuff. But I really do like this. It's just it's kind of a unique vibe that you don't find elsewhere. But it's good. It's a good vibe, though. Okay, I thought I'd dip my toe in on Transformers. This is the only issue I've ever read of this, so I'm kind of an uninformed idiot on this, honestly. Transformers number 29, because people were saying this is like one you want to get. But I'm coming in late to this, so I don't have like a good idea, really. But it's just a big fight issue. And the art is nice, fun. The colors and stuff. I gotta say though, maybe I should try some of the IDW stuff, because maybe I like it when it's like less organic and more like shiny and that kind of cartoony style before. I do like this, but I think I like that way more technical, really nerdy fucking art before bed. But I guess this has better writing, is what people tend to say. So, yeah, I think I'll have to... It's too hard for me to catch up on these now, man. But I did like the art. I'm an idiot for like thinking I can just come in at the end of a storyline and it's not quite walk into a movie at like the last 5 minutes, and it doesn't work regardless. So I don't think I have a very good idea of how great the story is at all. It's just like walking in, right at the end. This one though, Twilight Zone number 4, right? By Powell. It's fine, but not one for me to keep, because the art's fine, but it's all slice of life pretty much, so it's not far out. And it's just like characters. Basically the moral of the story is like, don't hate your siblings, and I don't really know who needs to hear that. Do you? I don't know. Not a huge twist or anything. It's kind of a cool atmosphere in this kind of like hell that seems like a utopia or something, but not enough for me. Maybe for some people out there who have like maybe if they don't get along with their siblings, this will blow their mind and be like, I should appreciate them. But who is that out there? Okay, last of the floppies. I got kind of lucky on this one, just value wise, because I ordered it because I like Guillaume March, and I guess this is blown up. This sells for like $20 to even like $60 or $80 or something. But I'm not familiar with this, but I just got it for the Guillaume March cover. I'm becoming one of those cover by people that I always used to turn my nose up at. But yeah, I'll dip my toe in, and then if I don't like it, I can turn a tidy profit selling it. Yeah, people say Absolute Wonder Woman is pretty awesome though. It's pretty late for me to come in at number 16 though, but yeah, thought I would try doing that. Haven't read it though, so. But okay, let's go to some very interesting stuff now. The Thick Boys. All right, here's a new one that should excite some, especially if you don't have these already. The Creepy presents Bernie Wrightson, the definitive collection of the artist's work from Creepy and Eerie. So a lot of these have been collected in other formats. especially that Bernie Wrightson Master of the Macabre. Black Cat, Jennifer, you definitely want that one. Country Pie. Cool Air by Lovecraft, Dick Swift, Martian Saga, The Laughing Man, Pepper Lake Monster, Nightfall, Reuben Youngblood, The Muck Monster, kind of swamp thingy. So in those Master of the Macabre, the scan quality and addition of color, like, I don't think I would have liked the addition of color, but the scan quality is really good. In this one, at least in my copy, it's kind of blurry. A big no-no. A lot of it's pretty good, and it's on this white paper. This is a great way to get it, right? But it would seem to me that if you could get... Okay, how many different stories are in here? If you could get the original Creepies on the newsprint, we've got 4, 7, 12. Yeah, I guess you'd be getting about 12 issues. What was it? Reaper of Love has different stuff. So, yeah, the issue I'm finding with this, a lot of these scans look like good quality, but there are 1 or 2 that are blurry. But maybe I shouldn't have opened with that in talking about this, because basically these are all great. These are fantastic stories and art. Jennifer, I mean, Bruce Jones, man. This is fucking... Jennifer is a classic. This is so sick. Was it Argento that did the adaptation? Something like that, right? Or was it John Landis, actually? Fuck, I forget. But anyway, a lot of these are classics. These are fantastic, but I would just say, okay, but this is a great value. Because it's $24.99, I think. Yeah, $24.99. US. More in Canada, but if you can get a discount if you like pre-order and different stuff. I mean, anybody who likes horror or horror anthologies, classical style illustration, or this kind of like underground indie, dark, more adultish friendly stuff, like, you want these. But I think this is great for the value, but if you can get the originals or the Master of Macabre, I'd say, even though Master of Macabre has color added, but it seemed to me that it was like better scan quality. These are kind of like blurry, man, a little bit. I don't know if the originals are like that, but I swear it's more crisp in the maybe because it was shrunk down. So yeah, I do have to say that this is still awesome though. But yeah, one of those things. I wouldn't... If this was like, if you found out that your friend had only this version though, I wouldn't even let them know. I would want to let them just enjoy it. Or if that was you, just like, this is perfectly enjoyable, but if you've seen the other ones, you'll be like, oh man, I'm seeing like more clearly. Because it's just, what the fuck, is like blurry. I swear it's not like that in the others. Maybe I just got a bad copy or something. That can happen. A little, slightly blurry. You don't want that, to be quite frank with you. Sorry about the negativity, but that's honesty. Gotta be brutally honest. Heavy Metal number 4. Alright, man. Being more brutally honest. I'm just talking about stuff. I've got the more fun stuff to talk about coming to the end. I'm just gonna like power through these. Much like some of the 2000s heavy metal, I just collect these and then I'm like, I read them on a rainy day. I haven't read these, but one thing I keep forgetting is to talk about the articles that they have, where they actually talk about, you know, same with the old ones, they would talk about like concept artists or different forms of media, different movies or books or whatever, that like would be kind of underground that you never heard of before. And that's one thing that this series has as well. Pretty well. They talk about like indie films of like sci-fi and horror that I've never heard of before or seen anywhere. And it seems like they do have very good taste, so the curation of this does seem to be right on. Like, it's not a bunch of posers. It seems like they're doing it for love. What more can I say? But I'm uninformed, so I'll keep it going. I'm just, yeah, rainy day. It was like that for me with heavy metal in the 90s and 2000s. I would get it for like a main story or a cover, and then just kind of like piece together like reading the rest of the magazine over time. So I can't front. I haven't read it. I haven't read that one. Gus Smith Cats Omnibus number 3, the end of the first like story arc. So this would be like the first 9, the original 9 trade paperbacks of Gus Smith Cats, right? Along with apparently a Riding Bean story, and yeah, this has more. I've talked about this before. Just good crime, good like fast-paced action movie stuff. Street level crime like car chases and gunplay. And there's more fan service too towards the end. There's more nudes for anybody into that stuff. And I guess this has like a Riding Bean story at the end that I never saw before. So that's gonna be sick. Some fan service. There's a bunch. Yeah. Okay, before we can actually like talk good, Hate Omnibus 2. Yeah, so you can get the whole the complete Hate series in 2 omnibuses, $30 US each, so 60. You would be paying more and putting in considerable effort to try and collect all the floppies, and this is certainly as good as. I mean, Hate is just great to read for like it. Kind of like young adult and growing up maybe, or like adults. That's the time when I read it, and it was like a perfect thing to read back then. Yeah, recommend it if you're into that stuff. But there's nobody young watching this video. Nobody young reads comics. I'm joking around. Okay, from Ignition Press, an anthology, Love Ignited. Weird Tales of Romance. This is a Joelle Jones cover, I think. A decent anthology, kind of like horror, love. Art by Danny on the first one. So that's pretty good. And only like 2 out of the 6 stories were silly. So that's a good ratio. A lot of the time, okay, like say this one kind of... And they're very stylish too. Say this one is kind of like, oh, her husband makes her bored, and then he goes on a trip, so she falls in love with the female neighbor, and it's the 50s, so it's lesbian. Isn't that shocking? I mean, and then this is good too, though. It has good art and atmosphere and writing and dialogue, this hitchhiker that's flirting with this guy, and them kind of being standoffish and having their guards up, but also like falling for each other. But should I ruin the twist? The twist is that it's like a transsexual. This is like the kind of thing you'd expect from love anthologies nowadays, but this is actually like done well enough that it has other good aspects. But it's just kind of like, man, it's not shocking. it's not like ooh, that's not like a big twist or anything. But the writing is like good enough that it was good enough. And like I said, only 2 out of the 6 stories are like that. It's like old hat now. It's like a formula. It's fish in a barrel, man. Like maybe the first wave is rebellious and stuff, and like, but then after it's like, this isn't really rebellious or groundbreaking anymore, man. So, you know that's true. But okay, this third story, no, the fourth, Living in a Satellite Fantasy, by Jamie S. Rich, Belen Colibras. This is wicked. This is a sci-fi story that, yeah, it's really like endearing and hits you with like loneliness and melancholy. And the twist, you don't expect it. It's not anything that's really been done before, and it actually adds layers where you can go back and read it and like enjoy it in a different way that's enriching. So yeah, well done on this one. This is like the kind of thing where you'd be like, fuck, this makes it a keeper, because that one was so good. And this one following after, story and art by Chris Burnham. This has good enough prose as he's doing this autopsy on this woman. Everything reminds me of you. The curve of this woman's clavicle. The bulb on the end of her nose. Making Minecraft themed Valentine's Day boxes for the boys. Pretty decent stuff. Running my fingers through your freshly shampooed and combed hair. The only thing that smells better is when your hair hasn't been washed for days and days. That's real shit. Checking each other. Even a circular saw wouldn't have made a dent in our first piece of crust as he's sawing through this skull. Of course, this is an oscillating saw, and I can see your eyes glazing over already. But no matter how close we get to each other, each day is a new surprise. What goes on in your head will always be a mystery as he's cutting this skull open. The twist on this one, I don't know what to say. I don't want to... It's just like a... Okay, just wrap it up, I guess. Okay, this last one... Is it the last one? Written by Patrick Horvath from Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. It's like fine, it's clever enough, but he never really does a lot for me. Like, it's always just kind of like novel and cute, and then there's kind of like a gimmick or a shtick, but it doesn't really have a lot of meat for me. But maybe I'm a fucking hater, man. I can't stop hating. I'm sorry. Who's the art though? Pretty decent. Yeah, Morgan Beam. So decent though. As far as horror love anthologies go, this is like rather decent. Probably a keeper because of that the sci-fi story. That one was cool as hell. Okay, but now to talk about something that's like really good. The winner so far. And I'm thankful too. I was ready to be disappointed because I never saw Interiors by Tula Lote before. Written by Helen Mullane. First time in print. Apparently this was a Comixology original, so it was only digital. Groupies. Got a quote from Scott Snyder on the cover there for people. Declan Shalvey as well on the back. So what I wanted to say about the sirens, right, is like girls, dames, when they get together. Or like kind of cool. What's the thing about, you know, bimbo pilled? There was talk before about people getting mad about people with that don't have internal dialogue, but what I want to put forward to you is like, get bimbo pilled, man. You want the righteous bimbos. You think a surfer thinks an internal dialogue when they're catching a perfect wave, man? You think I'm thinking in words when I fucking deke you out and get a hat trick on you in hockey? Righteous bimbosity. Just cool as hell bimbos. Not quite bimbos, but this is about groupies in like the 70s and rock, and that lifestyle of like sex, drugs, and rock and roll and friendship. And I was ready to be disappointed or just meh, serviceable, but this is awesome. Let me see here. When I was a little girl, I remember my mom and dad having a terrible fight. It really shook the rafters, you know? Yeah, each chapter is told from a different perspective of one of this, they're like a group of groupies that, not just that they're groupies, but they're like the groupies. They're like groupie royalty, where a rock band will want to like actually live that kind of idyllic, almost poetic, pre-Raphaelite or like romantic, new romantics life of like poets and muses. Like that's kind of the thing of it, right? The appeal maybe. And like in like an unreality where life is like poetic and magical and shit, but I mean a lot of it is fallout of sexual revolution and drugs and stuff. So it's not perfect. Daddy had a stash of dirty magazines, and Mom was so hurt she was crying and screaming and calling him a pervert. He had to sleep on the sofa for weeks. Later, I dug them out of the trash can outside where Mom had thrown them in disgust. All these girls, they were so pretty with their soft, inviting smiles and teased-out hair. I remember thinking how potent their hold on my daddy must be if he's willing to go through all this just to look at them. Talking again about the kind of the perfect marriage of speed and mastery of illustration, where it's like fast but so adept, almost like, you know, the Chinese brush, where it's like simplified but so adept. The illustration in here, these lights and stuff, it's really cool. Yeah, some more of these sex and drugs and stuff. It's cool shit. Well, I don't want to. It's just a nice illustration for them. Anyhow. Or I mean, time to turn on, darlings. Far out. When I'm with them, I'm one of the cool ones. One of those beautiful girls who everybody looks at, staring in lust and wonder. Sorry, there's some lines I wanted to show you guys here. Yeah, kind of that life. I don't know if a lot of young people, I wouldn't want my kids, if I had any, to like be living this kind of life, but I kind of feel bad for people who didn't like get to rock out like this in their 20s, kind of dissipate and waste their years, but maybe the grass is greener as well. They're so hot. When our eyes locked, a slow deep ache spread from my pussy to my heart. That's some good writing there. Look at this, the hair too, the effect on it is great. To make it in the groupie game, you've got to be super switched on. Monterey Pop, I saw you at the Fillmore. You were really getting down. The fact that he's like seen this girl before dancing in the crowd, and it made such an impression on him. Some of that stuff. Yeah, Righteous Bimbos, talking about how like they're cool too. Like they're trying to be like righteous muses in a way, but also, even though there's infighting, the sense of friendship is really cool in this too. What was that fucking movie? Almost Famous? Like that, I kind of hate that because it's all like kind of pap and like heartwarming and shit. This is like more like what I would have wanted when I like was subjected to seeing that movie. Is like it should be more like this. It's more dark and visceral. Maybe Sinkwich influence too. These kind of ink spatters and stuff. Though I know she works digitally, I think, right? Tuluote. This is what I'm like when I play guitar. It's just every time stops for everybody and they get all like emotional. They want to like laugh and cry at the same time. Then everybody gets laid that night. Some demons and shit. I'm messing around. Yeah, each chapter told from a different groupie's point of view. Yeah, again, this hair, the illustration, it's on fire. When I flipped through it, I was like, it looks kind of whatever, but you get into it and it's pretty masterful, the illustration. There's just I know there's like a bunch of good lines in here though. At first, the tour could be a bit of a drag. I wouldn't have told that to Amina. The boys didn't have cash, so we were spending mine. We did all Gaia's acid in like 3 days, and we've put a big dent in my stash of bennies. Sleeping on the bus sucked a big one. But it was okay. We got high, we hung out, bawled our brains out, obviously. When we got to Seattle, they got a bunch of money, and since then, wow, it's really been a heavy trip. Yeah, and there's like a paranormal, like, there's something lurking in the background of some kind of like dark violence and evil. Magnificent, glaring through the crowd with those blow me eyes. Pretty good shit. So, yeah, this just came out. I've only read like the first 2 out of 5 chapters, and I was like, what the fuck? That's only 2 chapters? But this seems like a big win. I don't know how it could drop the ball, so maybe I'm prematurely saying this is awesome. I doubt it, though, that it'll be able to drop the ball. I'm glad. Groupies by Helen Mullane and Tula Lotte. This is a winner so far. I don't think it'll disappoint. Probably, I don't know if you've read it out there. Don't spoil it, but let me know if you were as happy with it as I seem to be. Okay, so that'll do it for this one. Just want to say that I hope you guys have a happy Valentine's Day out there and that you're living a life of idyllic bimbosity, if you can. Just happy and pure, and happy-go-lucky. Stay lucky too. All right, peace, man. Love you guys, you beautiful sons of bitches. For real though. Okay, peace, guys.